things that we're exposing kids to. Oh, and by kids, I mean high schoolers. And by high schoolers, I mean high schoolers who choose to go to their high school library and pick up this very specific book. This is it. This is what we're mad about, okay? These are the important issues, okay? This is it. All right, that's it. That's the whole thing. That's crazy that we're so mad about nothing. All right, let's go.
Well, I don't think that is a policy done by teachers in this country. I think that this
book was in schools in Florida, which is why
there are a ton of books that are in a ton of schools. I don't believe in censorship. That's not my bag, buddy.
So you think children should have Playboy?
I don't really think so. No, because that's pornography.
So you think a blowjob?
You're in favor of censorship.
Yes, you are. Absolutely.
Oh, that's good to know.
If you watched the show, you'd know this.
Oh, you're
we talk about how we're
I am not. I want children to be able to have all the information that they need in order to
including pornography.
No, that's not pornography.
We backup record everything, and
we'll still be recording.
I think we're back.
We are back.
Whoa.
Okay. It's pretty stormy out.
It broke your
It's stormy
too.
Yeah, I mean it's rainy. Yeah.
Okay, I think we're live again.
Okay.
There we go. We're back.
Yes.
So the power just
went
fluctuated.
out. Yeah.
Okay.
That was God striking you down.
That was
Tim.
the YouTube
striking me down. You're the one arguing for.
You're the one arguing for censorship.
Yes.
I mean, I don't really mind that stuff. I mean, are you in favor of children seeing violence on television?
No.
That scares me a little bit more.
It depends. It's not so simple to say violence, right? But yes, censorship is a good thing, but when done bad is a bad thing.
Yeah.
For instance, Ian Crossland, who is a co-host on Timcast IRL, used to be a moderator for Minds.com, and he had to filter out graphic depictions of murder and rape and child abuse. Censorship is absolutely vital in that regard. So if we're talking about a book like, in particular, there was one called, there was a teacher who provided a book to her middle schoolers called This Book is Gay. I don't know if you've ever heard of it.
I have heard. That's actually a very good book.
And it provides instruction on she provided instruction to children on how to use adult gay.
Sorry, this is really funny. Sorry, this is really, really funny. It depends. Obviously, children need to see the war on TV. Perfect Tim Pool impression.
Anonymous sex apps. Yeah, I don't think that's appropriate. Now, look, by all means, you can be in favor of them.
Maybe she had a child. Maybe she had a child in her classroom
who wanted to go on Grindr and have sex with adults. Is that your argument?
No, I mean, I'm not saying that. First of all, I don't know. Again, this is
why would a 10-year-old need Grindr?
This is the thing that you do, though, Tim.
Oh, that
You're
I do.
picking specific examples that
are
inflammatory.
You asked me for one.
Okay, then go ahead. I
did.
No, she asked you for a direct policy, and you said, "I like that he banned this book." A book who I promise you there were no. Okay, can we just be real for 2 seconds? Just be real for 2 seconds, chat. Just be real. Can we just be real? The average cis high schooler is not picking up a book that thick titled Genderqueer. If they're picking up any books even at all. This is a non-issue. This is like, we need to ban people who take ice cream into the ocean and eat it inside of the ocean. It's like, I don't care about this issue at all, actually. Who is this impacting? I can't think of a single person this is negatively impacting. Why? Huh? Like, no one. There's like two nerds who picked this book up. The average high schooler, if they're even reading, is not reading this. Okay? Not. Oh, God.
Yeah,
I said don't show children blowjobs. You said you appreciate it.
I'm not in favor of censorship.
As an objective
censorship.
observer that's sitting here, you asked for a specific example, he gave it to you, and then you try to say he's broadly in favor of censorship.
Yeah.
It's possibly to make a hypocrisy point later on when he complains about social media censorship or something like that.
No,
but it's like he's
motherfucker, he called himself an observer. That's got the same energy as like XQC being like, okay, I'm the moderator, and now I declare that I am right. Oh no, man.
talking about this specific issue, and I remember I was working on an education series about this kind of thing years before it was popular. Yes, I was ahead of my time. And yeah, these kind of things were popping up all over schools, and I am happy that DeSantis is like doing something
We
about
had
it.
Asra Nomani on the show. She brought in, I think, like 70 books of all of the weird racist indoctrination and sex stuff that they're bringing in schools.
Yeah.
And I said, look, man, it's really simple for me. If someone comes to me and says that they think this book, which Amazon says is 18 up only, should be given to children, I'll say, I will vote against you.
But it's not being given to children. Okay, first of all, I have yet to see a single article that shows that it was in a kindergarten, that it was in an elementary school, or even that it was in a middle school. Second of all, I have yet to see anything that says that it was part of curriculum. All that it says, okay, the only thing on the internet about this book is that it was available in some high school libraries. That's it. That's literally it. Okay? So I don't know what you're talking about with like indoctrinating children and forcing them to read this book. I don't understand.
So should the Bible be banned from schools because it depicts
It is
sexual
banned
acts?
from schools, public schools.
The Bible probably is not appropriate for children for a lot of reasons. And I am not a Christian, so I don't particularly care about whether or not they're going to give a book to children that has something like Deuteronomy 23:20 in it. I don't think kids should be reading that kind of stuff.
Okay.
However, I'm in favor of the parents deciding when it is appropriate for their kids, which comes with very difficult moral questions in that my morality is different from the morality of each individual parent. So that's why I'm kind of like, the government probably shouldn't be the one doing it.
Have you had an expert on sexual education on your program to talk about this kind of stuff?
Yes.
What did they say?
And
And are you in favor of abstinence only?
No. It's been a very, very long time.
You're not in favor of abstinence only education.
I think abstinence only is
So
silly.
you're kind of hinging on this book that has pornographic material in it that like okay.
There's a difference between sex and kink, right?
Okay, sure.
So the many individuals on the left have made arguments.
Tim misunderstands a queer memoir as porn, then insists on showing Emma what he thinks is porn, but somehow Emma is being inappropriate. When you put it like that, oh. Anything but missionary is kink. Honestly, opening your eyes during sex, that's kink. Okay? Second of all, the book is like this thick, and there's 2 panels. For anyone who didn't get a chance to see the book is mainly comprised. Each page is about 3 panels, like 3 block panels. And there are 2. And the book is like this thick. You can see him hold it up. And at the end of those 2 panels, the third panel is about consent. That is what he thinks is porn. Uh-huh.
In favor of kink for kids, which is weird to me, and I think it's inappropriate. I think kids should learn about sex. I think the parents should decide when it's appropriate. This is why typically at schools they would give out notice to the parents like, we're intending on doing sex ed. Here's the subjects we're going to cover.
Nothing's changed.
The
in that
issue
way.
with Florida was that they had a policy where they would not instruct parents and actually were told not to talk to the parents if the kids were suffering identity issues. Now, the state should not intervene and take away the rights of the parents in that in that way.
Wait, can you say that again? That the state, what about gender identity issues?
So in Florida, what prompts a bill like this, and it also happened with stuff in like Nashville, was that the schools, and I think they do this in like Washington and Colorado, the schools were actually telling teachers not to talk to the parents if the children were having some kind of identity issue. And so this led to suicides.
No. What leads to suicides is that children are being told that they cannot operate and be who they are as the gender that is who they are in their heart. That's what's leading to suicides.
But I'm talking about one specific. Well, I think it's like
again, you're talking about one specific example. I'm talking about
you
broader.
can't ask
broader,
me for like.
I talk about politics, Tim. I don't talk about
Honestly,
anime.
the
talking about
only sex
policy.
that isn't kink is the one I have nightly. Lights out, eyes closed, bed sheets pulled up to my chin. No contact, fan on for 6 to 8 hours. Anything beyond this is dirty, filthy kink sex, and I won't have it. As a good Christian.
Also, he's cooking. He's getting cooked. Sorry.
that they would not.
You asked me
disclose
what the
gender
policy was.
Talking
options to
about
the
school
parents.
district policy. I
Okay.
cover national
You asked me to.
politics. Yeah, all right.
You can't ask me a question then when I explain where the policy
That's
came
not
from.
what she asked you. She asked you, what do you like about Ron DeSantis? Tell me policies or tell me his presidential positions that you are in favor of. And then you said, look at this book. This is disgusting. Can you believe it? I can't stop looking at this person getting a blowjob wearing a strap on. Can you believe? Did you see this? Did you see this book? Did you see this? Do you want to look at this book with me? Do you want to go look at this book together with me later? I'm really single. We could look at it together if you're free later. I just would love to. What was the question? Like, I don't know what. Hello?
You're like, no, that makes no sense.
You go into
you asked him about
individual
state-level
anecdotes.
I'm
politics.
telling you
talk
why
about-
the policy was written.
Okay, go ahead, Tim.
That's why the policy was written, because there were children who were having identity issues and the schools were instructed, the teachers were told not to tell the parents. This led to, I think it was a suicide attempt. The parents got angry.
Who had a suicide attempt?
A little girl tried to kill herself.
Okay, again, this is one case. Go ahead.
And there was also another, right. I'm not talking about, look at this anecdote, let's set policy. I'm saying Florida set a law because, okay? I'm not saying I agree or disagree. I'm saying a thing led to a thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
My position is that parents should be fully informed about what's going on with their children, and teachers should not withhold that information from them. It is not up to the state to decide what is best for the kid.
You're insane. You're fucking insane, Tim. You are insane. That is a terrible position to hold. Yeah, parents should be kids. If a child goes to a teacher or a teacher finds out that a kid is questioning their gender, they should immediately go and tell the parents. Fucking narc, dude. This is such narc behavior. Tim Pool was the kind of kid that you'd be like, yo, you wanna smoke? And he wouldn't politely say no. He would run and immediately tell the teacher, they were smoking a joint, by the way. Yeah. Yes. Little rodent, little snitch ass. You fucking know. This is crazy narc energy. This is insane narc energy. Holy shit. There are things that I think your parents should be informed of. 100%, right? Like, there's a lot of things that I think your parents should be informed of, right? In a culture that is insanely transphobic and homophobic, I don't know if your parents should... I don't know if your parents just naturally earn the right to know that information. Because there's nothing wrong with questioning your gender. There's nothing wrong with being queer, right? Inherently, those things are neutral. But your living situation may become fucking terrible if your parents find out that you are queer. And there's a lot of homophobic people in the US, and there's a lot of transphobic people in the US, and maybe we shouldn't be outing queer kids without their consent. Maybe we shouldn't do that. Like, don't get me wrong, child. Let me say something really quickly. In a ideal society, in a completely ideal society where there is no such thing as abusive parents and there's no such thing as homophobic or transphobic parents, yeah, I think parents should know. 100%. But I think parents should know because they can help their kid get the help that they need, or treatment that they need, or whatever, right? However, we don't live in that world. We live in the world where, some kids will literally get disowned if they find out. Some kids will be sent to conversion camp or conversion therapy where they're going to get literally electroshocked into being straight. Okay? Or get sent to religious school. Or some parents will fucking move specifically to get their kids away from their friends and their support system. Or in the worst cases, and even worse than that, they'll get physically abused by their parents. And you want to forcibly oust kids in front of their parents because they might be trans or might be queer. That sounds like a bad idea. Also, the situation answers itself. The kids are telling the teachers and not the parents for a reason. Yeah. Listen, I'm just going to say something, okay? Anyone in here who actively didn't tell their parents things frequently, you didn't tell your parents things because you had a reason to not tell them. There is no such thing as a kid that doesn't want to tell their parents about their identity. They don't tell their parents because they don't trust their parents. And they don't trust their parents for good reason. Okay? Parental rights are all nice and well, but how about a few rights for the kids as well? Yeah, and I think like that's like if your kid is doing fucking hard drugs or some shit, yeah, your parents should probably know. Probably. You know, or your kid is failing in all their classes. Yeah, your parents should probably know. Probably. But that's because the thing is bad, right? Being queer is a neutral statement. That would be like, should your parents know if you chew bubble gum? It's like, I don't really care. It's also not bad or good. It's just a neutral statement. I'm a teacher in Colorado. I've had multiple students who I will call one name to their face and one name to their parents because the kid asked me to. Tim is so dumb. Why does he think that we decided that teachers didn't have to tell parents shit back in the 60s? Yeah. Yeah. So anyways, all right, let's get back to the video. And you want to know the craziest thing? DeSantis is like trying to implement policies that if you as a teacher are trying to respect a kid's what is it called? Boundaries, you will get doxxed and you will get fired immediately. You will be punished as a teacher for trying to be there for your students. Like, what a fucking shit show, Jesus.
There are certain
But the
exceptions.
state is deciding what is best for the kid in these instances. They are essentially saying that children, take Florida, for example. You're talking about Florida. Let's talk about it. They're saying that children cannot, under the supervision of their doctor.
Wait, sorry, I have to read this. I had an abusive parent and had an understanding with the principal and counselor to not contact my parents about issues at school. A new secretary didn't know about that. She called my mom and told her I'm not on track to graduate. Next day, I came to the front office with a bruised lip and I screamed at the secretary, LOL, and that was just over grades, not bigotry. It's almost like, maybe not all parents are good. And we need to account for the fact that some people are really shit parents. Maybe not all parents know best, and we should do what is the best for the kid. And in some instances, sadly, sometimes the best thing to do for a kid is to not tell their parents about shit. Every kid deserves a parent, but not every parent deserves a kid. You're not fucking wrong, dude. You're not wrong.
And with their parental consent. None of this happens, by the way, without parental consent. It's illegal. They cannot work with their doctor on a healthcare plan for them to transition into their
gender. I'm not
gender.
talking about that. I mean, you're talking about medical intervention. I'm talking about
but you
like,
have spoken about this on your program before.
Yeah, I think like if a doctor prescribed a lobotomy to a kid, the government should stop that.
It's not
too.
a lobotomy. That's not what it is.
I'm saying that there are certain things in the medical world that we've prohibited.
Right, but this is not what
and it's
should.
one of them.
But the American
you
Journal.
disagree? You think it shouldn't be?
No,
I'm not arguing you're
every
wrong.
single expert that is reputable on this front disagrees. The American Journal of Pediatrics did a study about transitioning children. They studied them over 5 years. 94% of the children continued to identify as the gender that they were choosing to identify with at the beginning.
For 5 whole years?
Yeah,
Wow.
yes.
When placed on Lupron.
No, then the 6% that were remaining, 3.5% identified as cisgender, 2.5% went back, yes, but they were heavily weighted under the age of 10 years old,
this is
where
not
they
material to what
never
I was
had
talking about.
any medical intervention. This is how actually trans care actually goes, Tim. 8 to 13 years old, you're put on puberty blockers. Those are entirely reversible. Then after that,
I'm sorry,
that is
that's-
100% true.
It's just not true.
That's 100%
They're
true.
not entirely
Then
reversible. To a
16
certain degree, they can be.
Then why are they used in instances where
They're
someone
off-label
has
use.
puberty that
Precocious
Yeah, that's
puberty.
precocious
right,
puberty.
exactly. And there's a carve out for
Oh
that
my
in
God,
the Florida.
Look at him. Look, they can't even stop themselves from interrupting her. They can't even stop. It's like every 2 seconds they have to interrupt her. Oh my God. Just let her speak, dude.
Bill, by the way, so cis kids can have it, but trans kids can't.
Because that's
then
the primary
then
label.
16 years
That's the
old.
primary use of the drug.
Okay, but
But-
that's
but-
not what
but-
doctors say. No. Then 16 years old, 16 years old, that's when hormones happen. Very,
Also, the
very
point that she's making really quickly. I think the drug that they're talking about, is it Lupron? I think this is it. Puberty blocker. Yeah, they're talking about the puberty blocker that is named Lupron. Injectable blockers such as Lupron can last 1, 3, 6 months. Okay. So, here's what they're talking about. For anyone who doesn't know. I only know because unfortunately I have been brain rotted enough on the internet. Let me take out a picture. Everybody take out your crayons. What happened to my... Oh, there we go. I got it. Okay, sick. So the argument that she's making that they're not letting her make, by the way, they're not letting her do it. So she's saying drug Lupron used for, sorry about the spelling here. It's used for puberty blockers for trans kids, right? So one of the uses, it has a lot of uses, like a lot of drugs in the pharmaceutical, I guess, industry have multiple different uses. They solve multiple different problems or whatever. But Lupron, it can be used as a puberty blocker. Okay. But in other instances, it's used for what they're talking about, which it can also be used as, one second.
then 16 years old, 16 years
Primary use of the drug.
Okay, but kids can have it, but trans kids can't.
Because that's
then
the primary
then
label.
16 years
That's the
old.
primary.
Sorry,
then,
Primarily
then
reversible.
16,
To a certain degree,
then-
they can be.
Then why are they used in instances where
They're
someone
off-label
has
use.
puberty that
Precocious
Yeah, that's
puberty.
precocious
right,
puberty.
exactly. And there's
Okay,
a
they're talking about precocious puberty. Let's look it up. It is defined as, these are educational images, but just to be safe, it says it's defined as precocious puberty is when a child's body begins changing into that of an adult. Puberty too soon. When puberty begins before age 8 in girls and before age 9 in boys, it is considered precocious puberty. So it's used as a puberty blocker for trans kids. Okay. It's also used as a puberty blocker for precocious puberty. How do you spell this? P-R-O. Yeah, there we go. Like this. Sorry, this spelling looks like, or the writing looks like shit. So it's also used as a puberty blocker for cis kids under a certain age. Okay? And she's saying, hey, wait, we use it as a puberty blocker for cis kids all the time. Why wouldn't we use it for trans kids when they need it? And they're saying, oh, well, you want to know what? We don't do that because it's not reversible. It's not entirely reversible. There are some things that can happen to kids if you give them puberty blockers and they don't need puberty blockers. And so it's not entirely reversible. And she's saying, wait. So you're telling me in the instance of cis kids, it's worth taking that risk. But with trans kids, it's not. It's not worth it. This is bullshit. And you know that it's bullshit, especially considering that, like, the stat she listed was that 94% of kids who, what is it? What is the words that she used? I don't want to paraphrase her. I want to describe it accurately. We're at 103. American Journal of Pediatrics did this study about transitioning children that they studied them over 5 years. 94% of the children continued to identify as the gender that they were choosing to identify at the beginning. Okay. I don't know. All right, we'll get back to the video.
Up for that in the Florida bill, by the way. So cis kids can have it, but trans kids can't.
Because that's
then
the primary label.
16 years
That's the
old.
primary use of the drug.
Okay, but that's not what doctors say. No.
Also,
then
this is the dumbest point on the planet. That's not the primary use of the drug. Wait until this guy finds out. Wait until this guy finds out about Viagra. Pepe La. Wait until he finds out, guys. Pepe La. For anyone who doesn't know, I'm trying to find the lore history here. Pfizer originally discovered the medication in 1989 while looking for treatment related to heart-related chest pains. It was approved for medical use in the United States and the European Union in 1998. It was the 183rd most commonly prescribed medication in the US with more than 2 million prescriptions. And then guess what? They found out it did other things. Pepe La. Pepe La. Yeah. My chest still hurts, but now I'm getting a boner.
16 years old, that's when hormones happen. Very, very, very rarely are there any surgeries under the age of 18. I don't hear you talking about rhinoplasties under the age of 18 on your program.
We have.
Oh.
Maybe you haven't heard it because you don't watch the show.
Okay.
I've also said child beauty pageants are wrong and they're disgusting. I've also said Hooter is inappropriate for kids. And I said we shouldn't be giving minors any kind of cosmetic surgery. I don't even like tattoos or piercings. So when it comes to...
It's quite pure.
Don't worry. No one, Tim, you didn't need to tell us you didn't like tattoos and piercings. We knew. We already knew. And this is why you can't be a musician, by the way, Tim. This is why nobody likes your music. It's because you're just LARPing as a musician. Okay? How could you try and make like alt rock and then be like, but actually I hate tattoos and I hate piercings? Bro. Nobody wants to watch alt rock performed by a fucking dweeb wearing a beanie.
Botanical of you, Tim. I'm surprised. You have a lot of swords
I don't think
and
children
beards and stuff in here.
I don't think children should be altering their bodies.
But you just said parental rights. So if under 18, parents have to give consent for piercings and tattoos. And
do you think a
for
mom should have the
rhinoplasties.
right to remove the salivary glands of her child?
No. Are
If
you
the
for
doctor
parental
prescribes
rights
it.
or not?
See, this is a
Every right has limits.
Well, this is actually interesting because what you're asking, we've actually talked in a great depth about on Timcast IRL. That
Are you for parental rights or not? I just asked.
that question right there leads in two different directions, which is, again, we've addressed. If you watched the show, you'd have heard the statement we've made about it.
Well, I heard you 5 minutes ago say you were for parental rights, and now you're saying you're not.
Where do parents' rights begin and where do they end is strictly a moral question.
Oh, she's cooking him. Oh, she's cooking him so hard. Oh. Well, I think parental rights are the most important thing. Oh, okay. Sure. Well, actually, do you think parents should be able to be able to do this? But you earlier said that the parents can do. Okay. Well, actually, like, parental rights are a strictly moral question. Where did they begin? Where do they end? That's crazy, dude. Okay, let's see. I'm so excited for the mental gymnastics series. This got to be Olympian level very soon.
Based on the moral frameworks of an individual. If there is someone who goes to a doctor in, say, Saudi Arabia and the doctor prescribes female circumcision, they're going to argue it's the parents' rights. We would argue
Another
against
hypothetical.
that.
I'm talking about reality.
These things literally do happen in other countries.
But it wouldn't be a
But I'm
boxer.
talking about this country, and I'm talking about
And so I'm
parental
making
rights.
a point, right? The point is the idea that parents have a right is limited to what our moral limits are. Meaning, if you morally are okay with a child sex change, then you're going to argue in favor of parents' rights. If I say you shouldn't be able to mandate vaccinations, you'd probably argue against the parents' right? Should a school be allowed to mandate vaccines for children?
Yes.
But what about the parents' rights? Are you for parents' rights?
Well, I'm for public health.
But you're not for parents' rights. You see, that question leads nowhere.
No, I mean, look, Tim, I've never made parental rights a plank of my own politics. I'm saying this within the context of what you just said 5 minutes ago.
And I'm explaining.
Oh, she cooked him. Oh, he tried. Oh my God, he tried to, oh my God. Oh, that was embarrassing to watch. For anyone who missed it, okay? For anyone who missed it, Tim Pool earlier was arguing that parental rights are the most important thing before anything else. And he's saying like, yeah, I'm in favor of parental rights. I like Ron DeSantis because he puts parental rights first. And she's saying, wait, but there is a contradiction here. Earlier, you said that you cared most about parental rights, but now you're also saying that parents shouldn't have the right to remove like certain glands from their kids. So which is it? And he's saying, oh, well, are you in favor of vaccine mandations? And she's saying, whoa. I never said anything about parental rights. That's not, I don't die on that hill. I don't die on the hill of parental rights. You were the one dying on the hill of parental rights. This is your job to defend. I don't need to defend this. This is not my, I'm not dying on this fucking hill. You're the dumb fuck that wants to die on this hill. Oh God, dude.
Yes,
parental rights extends to my morality.
So, right, your morality says that you think that trans children and parents, even if they agree with their child and the doctor is supervising this kind of transition, you're essentially saying that you don't believe that they should have the power and ability and that the state should intervene. That sounds like big government to me.
Yeah, I'm not, I don't know if you know who I am.
Well, okay, then there you go. That the state should intervene because you don't believe that parents should, and their children, they're in agreement.
So at first, my position was, early on, if the doctors are prescribing it and it's the best thing they can do, I think we're looking at, in the past 4 years, about 50,000 or so cases of cross-sex hormones for kids, so be it. Then we started seeing like the Tavistock scandal. We saw Finland, Denmark, Sweden start pulling this. The research coming out showed that it was not particularly effective. And then we also had multiple studies showing that desistance rates for those who did not take any, who did not receive intervention was actually upwards of 95%. And then my position became, it probably is the appropriate thing for the legislature to say, we're not going to allow this anymore.
Okay, I just listed the American Journal of Pediatrics. That's incredibly reputable. Incredibly reputable. 94% of children continued care after age. Take a Netherlands study. This is Lancet. 98% continued hormone therapy and follow-up.
After what?
So you no, but the other one's a 5-year study. This is just a secondary
after
one.
what point?
Well, no. So this is the issue, right? Those studies were based upon whether a child was placed on puberty blockers or not. When a child is placed on puberty blockers, they tend not to desist. When a child is left alone, they tend to desist. So the issue is then if, according to
Can I just rewatch that? That's not, I just need to rewatch this. I'm sorry. First of all, it's really sad because when you listen to Tim Pool, you actually the entire time you have to think, did he actually read this study or is he just making shit up? Let's just watch. I just have to make sure I heard that correct.
Based on puberty blockers or not. Well, no.
So but the other one's a 5-year study. This is just a secondary
after
one.
what point?
Well, no. So this is the issue, right? Those studies were based
Thank you, Kendall, for the 6 months.
upon whether a child was placed on puberty blockers or not. When a child is placed on puberty blockers, they tend not to desist. When a child is left alone, they tend to desist. So the issue is
Huh? Is he trying to claim that when you put kids on puberty blockers, that, huh? So when denied treatment, they don't continue treatment? Yeah, like what is he trying to claim? What? Can I please see this study? I really want to see this study. Lancet Netherlands trans study. Let's try and find it. Let's see if we can find this. Okay, I think I found it. I think this is it. The abstract says, in the Netherlands, treatment with puberty suppression is available to trans adolescents younger than the age of 18 years old. When gender dysphoria persists, testosterone or estradiol can be added as gender-affirming hormones in young people who go on to transition. We investigated the proportion of people who continue gender-affirming hormone treatment at follow-up after having started puberty suppression and gender-affirming hormone treatment in adolescence. 720 people were included, of whom 220 were assigned male at birth and 500 were assigned female at birth at the start of the treatment. The median age was 14. Years for people assigned male at birth. Okay, median age at the end of the data was 20. 19 years for those assigned female at birth. Okay. Age at first visit, year of visit, age and puberty stage at start of treatment, age at start of gender affirming hormone treatment, year of start of gender affirming hormone treatment, and gonadectomy were not associated with discontinuing gender affirming hormones. Most participants who started gender affirming hormones in adolescence continued treatment into adulthood. The continuation of treatment is reassuring considering the word. What? Oh, I didn't show the study on stream. Sorry, my bad. Sorry. I was trying to put it on screen. I didn't realize it wasn't on screen this whole time. He's trying to counter the study by proving her right. The study just says that when we start putting people on gender affirming hormone care, they continue for years after. So when they start getting treatment, so trans adolescents who think that they need treatment tend to continue getting treatment. That's it. And then he's like, "Oh yeah, no, you're wrong. That study showed that kids who started on treatment continued treatment." What? What? Okay, let's see. I don't even what was the point he was trying to make by that? Look.
Is then if according to 10 prospective follow-up studies from child and adolescents found desistance rate.
Studies have reported higher rates of desistance. Oh, what is this post? Wikipedia.org wiki detransition. A 2016 review of 10 prospective follow-up studies from childhood to adolescents found desistance rates among 61 to 98%, with evidence suggesting that they might be less than 85% more generally. Wait, is he going to read the second paragraph? Is he going to read the sentence right after that?
Ranging from 61 to 90%, then the safety of the children would lean towards non-intervention.
I'm Go ahead. You can, again, we should probably agree to look at these kinds of studies before we're going to pull them up for a debate.
Wait, he didn't even read the next sentence. Wait, he didn't even read the next sentence. The next sentence reads, these studies have been criticized on the grounds that they include cases as desistance where the child met the criteria for gender identity disorder as defined by in the DSM, although some would likely not have met the updated criteria for gender dysphoria in the DSM-5. So he just read the next sentence says, this study isn't very good because some of the cases that were read as desistance, the kid never even met the criteria for gender dysphoria in the DSM-5. They only met the criteria for gender identity disorder from the DSM-3 or 4. Oh my fucking God. Initial diagnostic criteria for gender dysphoria were only introduced in the DSM-3, so earlier research on desistance rates might report inflated numbers of desistance due to the inclusion of gender non-conforming children without gender dysphoria. Additionally, 2 studies of childhood desistance were based on data from a Canadian clinic which closed in 2015 after allegations that they engaged in conversion therapy by discouraging social transitioning. Such clinical practices may also lead to inflated rates of reported desistance. Most childhood desisters go on to identify as cisgender and gay, bisexual, or lesbian. So two of the studies that he is linking here, he is describing a 2016 review of 10 studies about desistance rates. 2 of them were from a clinic that closed down because it was engaging in conversion therapy. So kids would go there and then they would be told, actually, you're not trans. Actually, we're going to do conversion therapy on you so you can be cis. And they're also using the wrong criteria from old DSM. From the 1980s DSM. Do people remember what the 80s were like? People didn't even believe depression was real. So we're using old criteria. And 2 of the 10 studies, a 5th of the studies used, are from a clinic that was actively trying to get kids to detransition. Okay, dude. Oh, okay, dude. That is crazy.
Probably agree to look at these kinds of studies before we're going to pull them up for a debate, because what I'm pulling up and what I'm referencing is inherently reputable, and you can find any information that you want on the internet. Yep. I am with a majority of doctors on this front. That's a broad statement. I
don't know about that.
No, that is actually a fact. That is 100% a fact.
Well, I've seen this movie before. So what's happening is you're referencing detransition under a system where they wouldn't be put on puberty blockers necessarily, and then they would go through the cross-sex hormone. So everybody who would have desisted at the point of puberty, which is what you're referencing, is already excluded from her sample. So, and I don't even think you would disagree with that once they're actually past the point of puberty and they still think they're in the opposite body or whatever, and they go through the process, there's a very low detransition rate. But you're specifically talking about desistance. Look, and I remember this because this happened when you argue with the serfs.
This is what it boils down to. I'm not a moralist. I don't have the arrogance to believe that my personal preferences for how my life would be lived should be imposed on other people. I'm trying to make a argument for a case for, I'm trying to make a case for a broad set of policies that are going to make sure people are as happy as they can possibly be and can live their life to the fullest. So if you want to impose your morality on people, it sounds like fundamentalism. For me, I'm in favor of
a real argument.
But if most
I am having a real argument.
That's not an argument.
You just said your morality
here's a study. Here's a study that shows desistance rates up to 95%.
She cooked him so hard, he got mad and he didn't come up with anything. She cooked him so hard, he said, come up with a real argument. He's so pissed. He's so pissed.
Hold on. Desistance rates are shown up to 95% with non-intervention. So then we would lean towards non-intervention. And you said you're a fundamentalist. You didn't make an argument.
Earlier you talked about how your morality is what you want to dictate in terms of this policy.
Wait, you see, this is what I was talking about with Sam.
Okay.
Right? The inability to grasp philosophical concepts. When I explained to you that you are opposed to parental rights because you're in favor of vaccine mandates, right? I don't think you can understand the duality of the statement you're making. Are you in favor of parental rights can go in one of two moral directions?
Okay. I'm going to say it. The misogyny goes crazy. The misogyny goes insane. That's crazy. Like half of this interview is like this debate. Half of it is like just him insulting her. And she's just being so polite the entire time. I don't think you could understand the duality of the statement you're making. You're just a dumb woman. You don't even understand what you're talking about. So let me explain it to you. That's crazy. Damn. Misogyny goes hard on Sundays, I guess.
You do have a moral stance.
I wasn't
you
talking
also
about
are a fundamentalist.
I wasn't talking about parental rights. I was using that as a way to talk about
Right.
your
My point
statement on
is,
parental rights.
If
And I
you
fully
if you have a
grasp
moral
concepts
position
of
on public
morality.
health
Tim,
and you want
I
to
have-
impose that, then you too would be a fundamentalist, and you've made a nonsensical statement.
I
If you want to make an argument about why me using this data is incorrect, I'm all ears. If you want to tell me I'm a
haven't
fundamentalist,
seen the data, so I can't.
well, then
I
don't make
can't.
an argument about it if you don't know the data.
No, I
All
do
right?
know the data. I use the American Journal
just said
of
you didn't.
Pediatrics. I don't know the data that you just
You
pulled
did
up.
not look up desistance rates. You did not look up anything other than what fits your narrative.
Tim, what you just said is that you want your morality to dictate policy.
No, I didn't.
I want people to have freedom
I
to
certainly
do
did
what
not.
they want.
That's just not true.
You,
I said
So wait,
that
Hey, Tim, why don't you read the rest of the paragraph from that Wikipedia article? That's crazy. That's crazy that you read the first sentence. You cherry-picked data that showed a desistance rate of 60 to 80 or 90%, and then you didn't read the rest of the paragraph that shows that those studies have been widely criticized for having clinics that promoted conversion therapy and for using the DSM-3 and DSM-4 rather than DSM-5. It's crazy that you read the one sentence you agreed with and then you ignored the rest of the paragraph, and then you have the audacity to accuse your opponent of cherry-picking data. All right. That's insane, man.
everyone's view on a question like parental rights is dictated by their morality. You do have one as well. People have a moral framework. You've told me that you're in favor of public health. That is a moral stance. So are you a fundamentalist? Do you want to
I
impose
talk
your
about
moral?
politics. I don't talk about things that are so abstract. I talk
You're in
about
favor
what's
of vaccine
in-
mandates or not?
Of course.
That's a moral position, not a
It's
scientific one.
No, it is a public health position.
Well, it's sure your morality dictates.
Oh my god, it's so dumb. Oh my god. Oh my god. Vaccine mandates are not a moral position. Vaccine mandates are a scientific public health position. Hey, if anything, the moral position on vaccine mandates would be that we should not mandate vaccines because it is not correct to tell other people what to do with their lives. But it's a scientific position and it is a public health position to say that we need vaccine mandates. Because unfortunately, if you leave it up to people whether or not they will get vaccinated, you're going to end up with a lot of people who are not going to get vaccinated. Maybe some of them because they're too lazy. Maybe some of them because, you know what I mean? Like they don't want to. Some of them because they're anti-vaxxers. But unfortunately, if you give vaccines to enough people in a country, that disease just goes away. Or at the very least, that strain of that disease goes away. That's it. It's not a moral position. It's we want to eradicate this disease or this infection or this virus or whatever. We want to eradicate it. How would we go about doing that? We forcibly mandate anyone who is capable of taking the vaccine. Obviously, if you are like immunocompromised or you have allergies to the vaccine, you would be exempt, which is currently how vaccine mandates work. Everyone in here who went to public school in the U.S., you've gotten your measles, mumps, is it rubella? Yes, you've gotten your measles, mumps, and rubella vaccine. Why? Because we don't want people having those diseases anymore. We don't want people carrying that shit anymore. And guess what? You can fucking eradicate it if you just force everyone who's able to take it to take it. And guess what? There are some people who don't have the vaccine. Why? Because they are either like immunocompromised, they can't get the vaccine, or because, what is it called? They're allergic. And those people don't get the vaccine, but they don't have to because everybody around them has gotten it. That's it. We're just saying we want to do the same thing there. That's it. This goes so hard. This goes so hard, dude. 1 second. This goes insane, by the way. But what about my freedom of choice? Oh, God. In my school system, I think we also had like religious exceptions as well. It's just herd immunity. Yeah. Yeah.
It's that the government can impose a medication on people against their will.
Because I'm trying to create a
That's
society.
a moral question.
No, because I'm trying to
That's
create.
moral.
Sure, I think I am more moral.
Wait,
But you
can-
just said you weren't. You said you were not a moralist.
No, I'm not. I am dealing in politics, and
Uh-huh.
politics can create outcomes that are moral or immoral, and I'm dealing in the ones that I think will create the most,
So you're a
the
moralist.
best outcome. No, moralism.
understand. What do you-
Moralism in the way that I was referencing it is one that falls back on notions of fundamentalism and imposing morality that is individual to you on
I'm not
the rest
talking
of
about
society.
imposing
I am
morality.
talking about
I'm talking about
creating a
data
society
that shows
creating
children-
a society that gives people the freedom that they.
Moralism.
I don't think he knows what the definition of moralism is. Oh, I think he's just really dumb. My favorite argument is when we have to build up our immune system. Like, what do you think the vaccine is doing? Yeah. Oh, God. I think he's trying to define moralism as when you have morals. When you want society to be good, that's moralism. I think that's what he thinks. Okay, here, we'll read it together. Everybody, take out your crayons. We're learning time. Learning time. Maybe even Tim Pool can catch this broadcast and he can learn something, okay? Moralism is a philosophy that arose in the 19th century that concerns itself with imbuing a society with a certain set of morals, usually traditional behavior, but also justice, freedom, equality. It has strongly affected North American British culture concerning private issues such as the family unit and sexuality, as well as issues that carry over into the public squares, such as the temperance movement. The term has been used in the pejorative sense to describe the attitude of being overly concerned with making moral judgments or being illiberal in the judgments one makes. Wanting a vaccine mandate has nothing to do with imbuing society with a set of morals. Wanting a vaccine mandate is just wanting people to not die from certain viruses and diseases. It has nothing to do with morality. Like, it has nothing to do with moralism, rather. Having morals is not the same thing as moralism. It's not the same thing. It's not. For anyone who's disagreeing, please don't. Please. I'm not strong enough. Okay, I'm not strong enough. Moralism is what right-wing religious zealots are actually doing? Yeah. Here, let me maybe explain it a little bit better, okay? Socialism is when you're social. That's a perfect example, okay? So, unfortunately, Tim Pool is using the term... So, we'll do it with socialism and social. It's like he's doing the equivalent of saying, oh, you want to go and hang out with people? You want to go outside and be social? Oh, so you're a socialist. Right? It's like, no. These are not the same thing. Wanting to be social is not what a socialist is. It's not the same thing. Those are completely different things. Those are completely different things. Okay? It's not even remotely close to the same thing. Yeah, they have the same root word, but they're different. Okay? And it's the same thing here. To say like, oh, you don't want people to die? Well, that's a moral position, which makes you a moralist. Oh my God. Why did I put an A? It's like, no, that's not what a moralist is. Having moral positions is not what being a moralist is. That's not what it is. It's this. These are completely, yeah, sure, they have the same root word. That's not the same. You can't just use them interchangeably. You know? You know what I mean? Yeah. Oh, you like racing? So what you're telling me is you're a racist. Oh, I spelled it wrong. Right? That's true. This is what this means. They have the first 4 letters. It's got to be the same thing, right? That's what that means. Oh, you like being racy? You're a racist. It's true. It's just true. That's how if words have the same 4, 5, 6 letters, it's the same thing. She's saying it's not a moralist position to have morals. It's a moralist position to feel like you need to give other people those positions. They're different words that mean completely different things. Denims, please play this. Is it funny? Hold up.
Am I a socialist or leftist? This is a Trackmania stream. I'm a racist. A racer, not a racist. Not my first language. A racer. Sorry. It's a bit of a... Yeah.
Bit of a mental typo.
That's bad. That's not.
Oh my god. That's so good. That's so good. So he's like just kind of talking past her, and unfortunately his audience is too dumb to realize that he's a fucking moron. Yeah, it's true. It's true. Yeah. If you like having sex, you're a sexist. It's true. I'm the biggest sexist to ever live. Anyways, yeah. Her saying, hey, it's a public health position to not want people to die. And that's why I'm mandating the vaccine. I don't care about telling other people how to live their lives or what positions to hold. I'm saying this is for the public good, and that's why we need to engage in this practice or whatever. Like, this is just how to run a society that runs. That's it. This is how to make sure we have a society that continues to operate and function.
No, that's politics.
You want to
bro.
create a society that does a works towards a goal of your personal perspective.
What you are talking about is imposing your narrow set of ideas about how society should be.
Based on the scientific research I pulled up.
No.
I literally pulled a study
No,
up.
you want to restrict people's ability to do what they want to do with their bodies. That's what you want to do.
Do you think that people should cut their hands off?
I don't deal in abstract, ridiculous hypotheticals because I deal in reality. I cover politics.
So you're in favor of female circumcision?
That doesn't happen in the United Staits.
How much do you want to bet? How much do you... No, you're wrong.
There are very small amounts. I am not in favor.
So you're in favor of it?
I wouldn't...
Would you want to restrict what people do with their own children? You're against parental rights?
God, he's so annoying. Oh my God, he's so annoying. Look at how mad he is. Oh. You know someone is losing when they're like, are you in favor of genital mutilation? Are you in favor of this terrible thing? Oh. Is that hypocrisy I smell? Oh, you aren't in favor of a bad thing. Unbelievable. Wow, that's crazy. You know. Well, that means I'm right. Like, oh my God, dude. Like, what the fuck is this? What am I watching? I'm gonna fucking jump off a bridge, man. This is terrible.
That's not the same thing. Is a doctor? You want
to talk about Dearborn, Michigan? I've actually gone there and done the research. I've actually done the boots on the ground journalism in this story. Okay.
I'm sorry. I laugh anytime he talks about boots on the ground journalism because he worked at what was it, Vice? I believe he worked with Vice. Everyone that worked with him in Vice said that he was like the biggest pussy on the planet. When he went and did his like right-wing documentary it was about, I think, Syrian refugees was it Germany? I think was it Sweden? There are multiple points where like he interviews people and they're like, yeah, it's very safe. Yeah, no, it's pretty safe here. Yeah, it's pretty safe. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then there was like one person that was like, I guess this neighborhood's a little bad. And he's like, oh, unbelievable. This one neighborhood is a little bad. So anyways, racism is good. He's that Tim Pool? Uh-huh, yeah. 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 He literally ran around just trying to find like a no-go zone. It was pathetic. It was really pathetic. Footage of Tim doing boots on the ground journalism. Oh, God. This is fucked up. This is fucked up. Anyways, that's why he doesn't do boots on the ground journalism anymore.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, right. Because female circumcision is a
By
bad
choice,
thing.
by the
We
wild.
do not want these things
By
to
the
be.
way, yeah. And again, chat, before I just need to clarify one thing. It's funny because he doesn't own it. Okay? You want to see a Giga Chad bald? A baldy? Giga Chad baldy?
We're not gonna get anywhere else. You're pretty drunk on a Monday. My man's got his toes out, just on the chair. Fucked up. It's 8:00. It just turned 8 o'clock. This man was this drunk at 7:55.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. But you showing up to every single event, no matter what, and you're wearing a beanie. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh. Oh, it's cringe. It's cringe because you're making it cringe. You know? That's why. If you just accepted your baldness and you were like, yeah, I'm bald, what about it? Yeah, my forehead is shiny as shit. What about it? What about it? What can I help you with? That's just you're owning it. Owning it. It's the exactly.
Be happening, and even the parents.
Also, he wears the beanie in like 90-degree weather, which that is just unbelievably embarrassing. Like he will go out in the sweltering heat wearing his fucking beanie. Like, oh my god, it's pathetic. Okay.
Going to doctors to get it prescribed. There are limits. There's the famous story of the Kennedy. They got the Kennedy got it lobotomized because the doctors prescribed it. Just because there's current scientific research that leans one direction doesn't mean we move absolutely in one direction. What we have here is a very prominent set of studies, which we've referenced on the show numerous times, showing desistance rates for minors who do not receive intervention in terms of affirmation or gender sex change is upwards of 95%, in which case science dictates we do not intervene. If you want to take the 5% chance that we then intervene in these children's lives, and that can result in even one kid being harmed, that sounds like an immoral action.
Now, these are extremely specific hypotheticals that you are maximizing in this current instance. And I am interested in creating a society that is that is moral, but it's based on outcomes, not just.
That's what I just pulled up. Like, I mean, I can read to you again.
Right, but pull up the American Pediatrics study.
But we're talking about.
Can I ask a hypothetical while you pull that up? If it is true that
Also, he's just showing the same paragraph of like the debunked study again. That's it. He's just doing that again. That's it.
prescribing puberty blockers prevents people from hitting that point of puberty where they would decide, and largely they would decide to desist, right, when they hit the point of puberty, would you be in favor of removing that from the gender protocol? Because this only is talking about desistance at the point of puberty. So like what he's concerned about is that if you stop people from going through puberty, you stop the changes in their bodies and all that, and then they can't like rationally make that choice because they haven't hit that point in their development.
I don't have the kind of, I guess, arrogance, I would say.
I mean, I asked you a hypothetical,
about,
like hypothetically.
Right, but again, this is exactly what reactionary conservatives do.
You know, it's a red flag
If
from
you deal with hypotheticals, because when you actually
The
deal with
audacity
practical-
to say name throwing when like the past 5 minutes have been nothing but you interrupting her over and over again, screaming at her and saying, well, you wouldn't understand this. It's too hard for you to grasp this concept. Like you've literally been insulting her for the past 5 minutes. And the second that she says, you realize what you're doing is a right-wing tactic. Name calling.
reality and the outcomes that you're dealing with and that you're prescribing onto society, it creates an inherently unjust society.
So
as the right-wing conservative Destiny said recently when he was debating the left-wing pro-lifers, it is a definite red flag when somebody is unwilling completely to engage with the hypothetical. If you want to say why the hypothetical doesn't apply, that is totally fine.
No, because I want to
for you
talk
to just
about
like say,
reality.
"Oh, it's a hypothetical. I can't talk about it," as if you don't know what a thought experiment is. It's kind of odd.
Look, I've asked you. We have here. I literally just pulled up detransition Wikipedia. We pulled up this study that shows that without intervention, desistance rates are from 61 to 98%.
And here
But I just think it's so funny to quote. It's like, hey, did you respect my opinion even a little? Don't worry. I can fix that. I can fix that.
I have general acceptance of standards of care. The overwhelming weight of medical authority supports treatment of transgender patients with GnRH agonists and cross-sex hormones in appropriate circumstances. Organizations who have formally recognized this include American Academy of Pediatrics, American Academy of Child and Adolescent Psychiatry, American Academy of Family Physicians, American College of Obstetricians and Gynecologists, American College of Physicians, American Medical Association, American Pediatric Association. Dozens and
Remember
dozens
when doctors
of the
said smoking was good for you? You're not citing science. You're citing government approval.
No, I'm not. I am citing
and that's fine.
What does the government have to do with it? These are medical organizations.
Okay, sure. Fair point. You're citing medical organizations despite.
Oh, he got called on his bullshit so fucking fast. Oh my god. I'm pretty sure medical organizations were claiming that cigarettes were bad for you for years before the government did anything. Same thing with, what is it called? Red meat, processed red meat. I'm pretty sure the American Cancer Association has already decried processed red meats as being carcinogenic. Processed red meat. It's considered a class 1 carcinogen. World Health Organization also classifies it as a cancer inducer. World Health Organization, carcinogenicity of the consumption of red meat and processed meat. What do we consider as processed meat? It refers to anything that's been transformed through salting, curing, fermenting, smoking, and other processes to enhance flavor or improve preservation. Most processed meats contain pork or beef. And then examples include hot dogs, ham, sausages, corned beef, biltong, beef jerky, as well as canned meat and meat-based preparations and sauces. And basically every single organization that is like worth. I'm sorry. This is just so funny to me. Reported for making jokes about suicide. Enjoy losing your channel. Did you forget to take your normal pills today? Creepin' Death 24/7. Did you forget to take your normal pills again? Did you losing your normal pills? I told you not to losing them. I told you. Go find them, okay? You need them. We've talked about this before, okay? We've talked about this. Oh, hi, Meerkat. Meow. Hi. Anyways, how many cancer cases each year can be attributed to consumption of processed red meat? About 34,000 cancer deaths worldwide are attributed to diets high in processed red meat. Eating red meat yet has not been established as a cause of cancer. However, if the reported associations were proven to be
6 months
casual...
of Denvis, enjoy losing your cello. Oops, time to take my normal pills. I'm here.
Hi, Dev. Thank you. Thank you for the 6 months. But anyways, yeah, in case anyone is confused or anyone is concerned, if you have like a hot dog once every month or whatever, you're going to be fine. Oh, sorry, causal. I said casual. Sorry, causal. Yeah, you're probably fine. If you have like bacon every like once in a while, you're fine. Generally, they're talking about people who are like consuming bacon every day for breakfast and then consuming chili every day for lunch. Or like you're having it every single day, potentially even multiple days, multiple times a day. Like you should really cut out as much as you can, which is a lot of people, to be clear. Red meat is less dangerous, but processed red meat is considered carcinogenic. Yeah. And it's really sad. It's sad, but like you really shouldn't eat. You should really try not to eat jerky. You should try not to eat hot dogs. You should try not to eat bacon. You should try not to eat like sausages and stuff like that, because it's directly linked to cancer. It is. It has to do with how nitrites and nitrates interact with the smoking process, from my understanding, like the fermenting process. So yeah, but it's fine if you have it once in a while, to be clear. Obviously it's totally fine. And I mean, I have a charcuterie board like probably once a month, you know what I mean? Like you're not going to die from a little bit of something, but having it like every single day, multiple times a day, I would be a little bit careful. But obviously the FDA has done nothing, by the way. The FDA has seen all of this data that shows that processed red meat is a class 1 carcinogen. And they're just like, okay, and? There isn't even like a warning on these products. There's no, when you go to buy bacon at the store, it doesn't say, warning, this product will cause cancer. You know? And that's all people are asking for. They're just asking for honesty from the government, that like, you know which products you're buying are not safe for you. You know? America moment. FR. Do we know if that's in the US only or everywhere? Yeah, it's everywhere. It's all processed red meat. The problem is that the action of processing red meat to make it last longer or to enhance its flavor, it causes... It's not the quality of the meat. It's the process of preserving the meat that makes it carcinogenic. So yeah. So anyways, processed red meat has been classified in the same category as causes of cancer such as tobacco smoking and asbestos, but that does not mean they are equally dangerous. Okay? So like, yeah, again, it's fine if you want to have a hot dog every once in a while. That's okay. And it's fine if you want to, you know, have some salami, a little salami as a treat. That's okay. Hold up. We have to put the picture up. Oh, what? Why can't I find the meme? This one. Is salami okay for cats? Cats can have a little salami. A little salami as a treat. Just as a treat. But anywho. And yeah, red meats are considered group 2A. Processed meats are considered group 1. So processed meats are not good for you. Red meats are less bad for you. This says it's, in case of red meat, the classification is based on limited evidence from studies showing how positive associations between eating red meat and developing colorectal cancer, as well as strong mechanistic evidence. Limited evidence means that a positive association has been observed between exposure to the agent and cancer, but that other explanations for the observations, technically termed chance, bias, or confounding, could not be ruled out. So basically, there's some association with red meat and cancer, specifically colorectal cancer. And so there is a correlation, whereas there is causation with processed red meat. Processed red meat is 100% causation. So, yeah, I mean, like, and again, people know smoking is bad and they still smoke. You know what I mean? You should just be informed. Definitely a link between processed meat, likely an association between red meat and cancer. Exactly. Oh, look, guys. Look. There's an idiot in chat. Look, guys. Oh, the little baby. Oh, look at the baby. It isn't causation, you idiot. It literally says probably zinc. Probably. What's the fucking definition of probably? Okay, I know you were like, you're just a little slow, and that's okay. It's okay to be a little slow. But if you listen to the words I said, which I know is hard, woman and everything, I get that. If you listen to the words I said there is a correlation with red meat, and there is a causation with processed red meat. And if we can read, I don't know if you have the ability to, you see here, in the case of processed meat, this classification is based on sufficient evidence from studies that show that eating processed meat causes colorectal cancer. Yeah. So I don't know if you're capable of doing that, but reading is a cool skill to have. Okay. It's possible. It's actually possible. But anyways, I think processed cured meat contains oxidants that can cause DNA damage and lead to cancer. I don't know about DNA damage and leading to cancer, but I just know that it's the smoking process and the nitrates and nitrites that are like really bad, and that's what's doing the problem. That's what's causing the problem or whatever. Okay, why did we bring this up? Oh, right. So multiple health organizations have brought up the fact that processed red meats are carcinogenic. That consuming too much processed red meats, if you're eating bacon every day for breakfast, you probably should try to do that less if you can. Yeah, maybe don't do that as much. You know what I mean? But if you want to have it like once a week or something, yeah, that's fine. That's totally cool. I personally, I haven't bought hot dogs. Like, I don't buy hot dogs. I don't buy bacon. I don't buy salami. I don't buy any of that. And then like once a month, maybe, I'm like, you know what? A little salami is a treat. And if I'm outside and like the meal choice is like a burger and a hot dog, sometimes I'll go hot dog, you know? Sometimes I'll be like, you know what? Let's get a little hot dog. A little hot dog is a treat, you know? Yeah, I used to have chorizo for breakfast every day, and then I found out I used to have these chorizo scrambled eggs, and I found out it's bad for you. And I'm like, no, fuck. It was my favorite breakfast. Chorizo was so good. It's so good. Italians in shamble. I know, right? I know. Oh my God. So anyways. Yeah. Yeah, it's really sad. Very sad. And I also had this amazing jerky. I used to get this amazing like teriyaki jerky. It's not the jerky that you get at the store, by the way. It was this crazy special like Asian Mart jerky, and I had to stop buying it because I was like, no, jerky's bad for you. Fuck. So anyways, yeah. Multiple studies, multiple organizations, multiple reputable sources say that it's carcinogenic. It's classified as group 1 carcinogen. And the FDA has done nothing. The government, public authorities have done absolutely nothing. Like, a lot of people have no idea that, like, those are cancer-causing foods. You know what I mean? Which is bad. I'm not saying that we need to ban everything. I'm just saying we need to inform the public. Right? that you should be an informed consumer and that your government should inform you of this. Your government should inform you that, hey, just so you know, this is a carcinogen or a group 1 carcinogen. Obviously fine if you want to eat some of it, but just so you know. But obviously it's lobbied to shit, and why would the meat industry give a fuck, right? Yeah, exactly. This is what I want. You know what I mean? I don't know about this first sentence. I don't know if you were, I don't really know if this was a meme sentence or not, but this is what I want from the American consumers, okay? Don't care, jerky is life, I'll just die, but thank you for the information. I just want people to die if they want to. Oh, it's a meme. Okay, good. Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. If you want to die and you're like, I'm here for a fun time, not a long time, perfect. Great. I don't have an issue with that. You live your life how you want to live your life. You know what I mean? I'm not going to tell you how to live your life, dude. If you want to smoke and you know all the dangers of smoking, yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Die if you want to die, man. It's your right, man. I have no right over how someone else wants to live their life, you know? Thank you for the 6 months, Dank. Thank you. I just want people to be aware. I just want people to be aware of the things in their products and goods and everything. You know what I mean? Okay. Then die. Wait, why did everyone... Oh, aware. Shut the fuck up. Okay, all right. Without letting people know it's kind of insidious, TBH, yeah. Especially when, like, certain foods are advertised as, like, healthy. You know? Where it's like, have a healthy breakfast. And it's a picture of, like, 2 eggs, some fruit, and bacon. And it's like... It's like, can you imagine? Have a healthy breakfast. And it's like 2 eggs, some fruit, and some asbestos. It's like, I just feel like that's not fair marketing. I don't feel like we should be allowed to market like that, man, you know? I just want a little bit more honesty from our government. Just a little. Is that a lot to ask? You know? It's fine if your favorite food is causing you cancer. I just want you to know it is, you know? Okay.
Despite the fact that there have been numerous instances throughout history, in fact, basically all of them, where we've been like, hey, we were wrong about that. Like, maybe we shouldn't drink mercury if you get syphilis. But what I'm referring to specifically is if there is no intervention of a trans child, desistance rates are from 61 to 98%, showing the majority of kids are better off not receiving.
No, look, I
puberty
mean, you're on
blockers.
detransition Wikipedia. I just listed a list of
two
dozen.
studies.
Again, he mentioned
half a dozen.
desistance, not detransition. This is like very important that we nail down what we're talking
Yeah,
about.
right. What I'm saying is, if you have a trans child or a child who is suffering from gender identity disorder or dysphoria, and you do nothing, there is a 61 to 98% chance they age out of it and grow up and are happy and fine.
That's made up.
It's literally right there.
Okay, but that's such a Giga Chad response. You made it up, Tim. Tim, you made it up.
What are you talking about?
On Wikipedia.
At the point of puberty.
No, I pulled
is what
up
he's
the
talking
NIH
about.
and you said you can pull up anything. Yeah, so here you go.
Tim,
NIH.gov.
Tim,
Here you go.
Tim.
Are you happy?
Tim,
NIH.gov.
deal with what I just said about
medical
the level of
organizations-
medical organizations.
That's
You're saying that they're all
fine.
wrong and that you have some sort of like special knowledge that you can supersede their expertise.
No,
in
he's
this
not.
area.
You're cherry picking American
And you're making the appeal to
organizations.
authority.
I just first of all, I just cited one from the Netherlands, but American Academy of Pediatrics, American
Appeal to
Academy of
authority.
Child
Appeal to authority. Appeal
Also, oh my God, he's so... Oh, so we're not even at the point of like real intellectual debate anymore. Now we're just repeating ourselves. That's what we're doing now. Appeal to authority, appeal to authority, appeal to authority. This is how you know I'm winning. Appeal to authority, appeal to authority. Okay. Nerd. Appeal to authority. I'm the referee, and you're wrong. And you're wrong. Aha, I caught you in a logical fallacy. Oh my God. Wait, there was a chat message I wanted to read. 1 second. Also, 61 to 90 is such a huge gap that has to be made up. It's more that the studies are not good. But yeah, 61 to 90% is a crazy number, by the way. Is a crazy number.
authority. Keep
No,
doing it.
I mean,
But not even that.
I've
but
got.
I'm not a medical authority, and neither are you.
Then
so why
all
wouldn't
I
you
can
appeal
do
to
is
the
point to a
authority?
study and say, "Wow, if this study is true, I'm opposed to this." right?
But there's also all these European organizations that are getting rid of this specific practice that he's focusing on, which is the puberty blockers, and like for some reason they're not on your list.
No,
which is
we are
interesting.
properly
you
assessing
cherry-picked.
when intervention is appropriate here. I mean, it's pretty obvious.
But why would they suspend in these better healthcare systems in Europe? Why would they suspend this specific practice that we're
I
arguing
mean, you
about?
listed Sweden and Finland. They've just
Well, he listed a
elected
whole bunch of
far right
them.
governments, but
I mean,
But anyway,
these
like
things considered.
again, this is what I'm interested in talking about in terms of politics. I want to create a more equitable society for people. We should have socialized healthcare, Medicare for all. You should talk about that more on your program. You say you're in favor of it. I
talk about
haven't
it quite
really
a bit.
seen. I haven't
Look,
seen much.
when you guys cherry pick stuff to talk about
we
music
should talk
or
about
whatever, and,
ending
like,
child poverty. I mean, it's funny. You should talk about ending
but,
child
but you could
poverty.
have talked about my position on universal healthcare any one of these times. You never do. Why? It's not going to get traffic for you.
Well, I mean, you don't clip anything about universal
No.
healthcare. You should focus more
What are you
on it,
talking-
and then
what?
we would focus on it.
Because like
What we try to do
when are we going
is
to be
to,
like for
in
no
real
reason? Let's just make a
time-
universal healthcare thing.
What we try to do
What?
in real time
What?
is correct right-wing lies, whether
Wait, whoa. That is a crazy sentence to say. That's crazy to say that. Oh, well, why would we make a video on that for no reason? Oh, what? You think because we talk about politics, we're going to cover issues that would actually help people? Don't you know I'm too busy doing the important on-the-ground journalism? Look at my channel. It's going to take me a second to open this channel really quickly. 1 second. Tim Pool. Dim Fool. Okay, I think this is his official channel. All right, here we go. Listen, I am already covering a lot of really important ideas, okay? I'm covering what are these like 3-minute clips? Did he stop doing thumbnails? What is going on? Who is in charge of his channel? This looks like shit. What is this? This channel looks like pure garbage. I'm not gonna lie. The goggles, yeah, this is when he was still trying to pretend to be cool.